What is up, guys? Johnny Chase here, and welcome back to the club, where today we're going to be taking a look at another 10 modern retro games that you can play on modern consoles now. I did a list of this back a couple years ago, so go and check out that list before going down the comments saying you didn't mention Retro City Rampage. Yeah, I did in the previous video. So I'm changing the criteria up a little bit. Last time I said that I had to have, like, you know, chiptune music, but I found like that's going to limit some of my choices because there are a lot of great retro style modern games that are out there now that you can play. They don't really have to have that chiptune aesthetic, but they still have amazing soundtracks that we should definitely check out. Again, same criteria. I'm looking for more like stuff that could be, you know, available on 8-bit and 16-bit consoles back in the day. Obviously, we're not going to go through those big limitations we did last time, but here are 10 games that you should check out if you are as old as I am and actually remember playing some of those games on those big-ass cartridges that I have on my wall. So I would like to go off with the first one being Double Dragon 4, but I can't. It's not very good. I played a little bit of Double Dragon 4 with the intent of actually putting it on this list. I just don't care for it. Like, I never understood Arc System Works' reasoning for going with the Double Dragon 2 sprite work and aesthetic. I mean, I like Double Dragon 2 on NES. It was one of my favorite games of all time, but I don't know what they did with this. It's just not good. However, I will recommend the new Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. That's available on everything. This one came out last year. 2-player co-op. It has like the leveling structure of like an old, like a River City Ransom or in the Kinokun series, where you get money, you level up, or you can actually, you know, cash that out and save it with the live system. So whenever you die or lose both partners, you have to continue and you have to buy your way back in. And as I have not yet, as of recording, beaten the game, I got pretty far up to the Shadow Boss, but then started kicking my ass, and then I ran out of money and I had to actually like cash out and start everything over, delete the save, start all over. So it's a little punishing. There are sliders in the game that you can actually change difficulty settings, give yourself infinite continues, or, you know, lower the cost of buybacks or stuff, but it like limits the amount of money and tokens you can get that would, you know, get you for continue or to buy the various artworks and skins and stuff like that are in the game. Man, this thing is jam-packed with content. It's a game that kind of been my offline game, and I've been having a hell of a good time playing it. So my first recommendation is Double Dragon Gaiden, available on everything. And now sticking with beat 'em ups, I know this was sacrilege. I left it off the last list there, but I mean, come on, we gotta give props to Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Again, one of those games available on everything. It was one of those ones that was infamously delisted from the older systems, the 360, the PS3, and PC, due to licensing issues. And it was funny that stories came out that the game's own creator couldn't purchase it. Like, he was given codes for the game, but he decided to give that away to friends. And then when the time came where you wanted to sit down and actually play the game, it's gone. You couldn't get it. And there was like a really grassroots campaign to get this game onto modern systems, or at least just put back on the store so people could repurchase it or re-download it. Not knowing that you actually could download it, but with the 360 and PS3's like archaic like purchase history and how slow it ran, it was like, if you bought like a lot of games beforehand, it was going to take you a long time to get back down to where you purchase Scott Pilgrim to re-download it. It is possible. I have done it several times on several different 360s I've owned over the past, but it is very, 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 very tedious work. So now the game has been re-released on all consoles with all the DLC. So of course you get the Knives Chow and Wallace DLCs. Online plays on there. It's still not great comparative to even what it was on the 360. If OGs remember playing it online with friends, it did not function well online, but it's still a good time. You know, it's, you know, classic beat 'em up. You collect money, you go in, you buy upgrades, you buy lives. It's the story from it actually takes more from the comic than it does the movie. So, you know, you're Scott and your friends, you're fighting all of Ramona's several evil exes. It's still a great game, and it's available on everything for now. Like, once this game's gone again because of licensing, y'all can't complain again. Like, you had your shot to buy it, so go buy it now. But it routinely goes on sale every once in a while. So like if you really want the game, you can get it on the cheap. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, one of those ones that, you know, we had back on the 360 PS3. It's available on everything now. And if you love beat 'em ups and that pixel art style, and the music by Adamaguchi is like superb in this. So pick it up if you love beat 'em ups. And sticking with beat 'em ups, I never thought in the year of 2023 that we would ever get a game like this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Again, that's available on everything. From the folks at Tribute and .emu, the guys that did games that I've covered in the past, like Panzer Paladin. Tribute was responsible for that as well, and also responsible for another game I'm going to talk about here in just a bit. But yeah, Shredder's Revenge, it's kind of treated as the third in the TMNT arcade line. 6-player co-op. They just released a DLC that puts Usagi Jimbo and Karai in the game, with also like this survival mode that goes through that you get, you know, you pick different, it's almost like a roguelike. You can pick different elements to, like, you know, level up your turtle or give like another debilitating thing to give a better prize later. But yeah, it's like, you know, 16 missions. There's a multitude of different palette swaps that you can do. You can make them look like the comic book versions of themselves. You can make them look like the NES versions, the Game Boy versions. It's the Mirage comics, the original Mirage comics. This game is super fun. I've gone through the campaign several times with friends. It's just like, I never thought that we would get a Turtles arcade game that played so well. Yeah, another great modern retro style game in TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Available on everything as of writing right now. It is still available on Game Pass, so if you have Xbox Live Game Pass, you can check it out as well. Yeah, tons of fun. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, highly recommend. So I'm actually going to take a break from talking about beat 'em ups and talking about another game I never even heard of until I found this on Twitter. Shout outs to Pursuing Pixels, linking to their Twitter on the description below. I've been finding now that this Twitter site, if you guys are looking for other pixel games to play, they're really good at reporting this stuff, so give them a follow and discover a new game for yourself, like I did with this one called Crypt Stalker. This was brought to my attention when they were mentioning that this game was like on sale for like $2 on the Switch, and it looked a lot like a Castlevania clone, so I checked it out, and yeah, it is essentially a Castlevania clone. But with this one here, you've got the option to attack with a whip or even a gun. It is really difficult, but it does that thing where, you know, most modern games give you the option for infinite lives, or you can just go for old school style where you have a live system, but they're very generous on the checkpoints. I haven't gotten a whole lot of time to play through this bit, but it's so much fun. The video that they showed was actually for one of the challenges where it was a speed run to get through the level as quickly as possible. And I thought that was the entire game, and I picked it up and like, no, this is actually a full-fledged Castlevania clone. And also too, they have a console mode, and then they have a handheld mode that actually puts it into old school Game Boy graphics. But not only that, they change up the controls and the jumping arc to make it feel like the Castlevania adventure on Game Boy, the old school one. So you have that delay in the jump, like you do with Christopher Belmont in those games. And I thought that was a really nice touch. Yeah, this game's super cheap. I believe it's also on Steam as well. But I picked it up on the Switch because it was on sale. But yeah, Crypt Stalker, go give it a shot. And another one that I found on Twitter through word of mouth, and this was like the surprise hit of last year for me, Gravity Circuit. I've already done a full-fledged review of the game here on the channel. Click the card up top if you want to go watch that. So I won't go into super extra detail on this, but I just want to re-emphasize the point that the reason I made that review and I play that game is for this video here, is to talk about more modern retro games that you guys can play on modern consoles. So Gravity Circuit, available on the Switch, PS4, PS5, and Steam. If you like Mega Man games, if you like the Zero series, if you like the X series, this is the game for you. This is a spiritual successor to the Mega Man series of those games. Plus, with like they actually updated the game long after I made that review, so there are so many different improvements to the game as well. You can actually have loadouts, so instead of having to go in and change the chipset for whatever moveset you want, you can actually just have dedicated save files where it's just like, no, give me that one because that's my build for this level and this level. So the developers have done a really good job of keeping the game fresh and new with free updates. So again, Gravity Circuit, go pick it up. I can't recommend this game highly enough to anyone that loves games in this series. So go pick it up. Okay, so next game up is from our friends over at Tribute Games. It's Steel Assault. I played this on the Switch. I do believe it's also available on PC as well. Steel Assault's kind of hard to describe. I mean, it's just a side-scrolling action game, but it has this mechanic where you like throw a line to traverse yourself upwards, kind of like a grappling hook, but not really, because like you kind of like shimmy up the rope. I have seen another game like this that was on the Famicom, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it right now. It also could be an arcade game as well, and I can't remember for the life of me right now. Let me know in the comments what game I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this one, again, this is tough as nails, old school, NES hard, and I had a blast with this. Like, this was a game I was keeping my eye on after playing Panzer Paladin, and then seeing the announcements from Turtles. Like, Tribute has become one of my new favorite publishers and developers for these retro style games, and I gotta go out and check their other catalog as well, as I do believe they are the ones that produced Mercenary Kings on the PS4. I never got around to playing that, but I heard that one was pretty good as well. But yeah, Steel Assault, go pick it up. It routinely goes on sale on the Switch as well, and that's why I played it on. So yeah, give that a shot. And we'll briefly come back to the realm of beat 'em ups. River City Girls. Now this one I haven't had a whole lot of time to play, but I mean, I love me beat 'em up. This one, if I remember correctly, chastise me in the comments if I get this wrong, but I believe you are the girlfriends of the River City Ransom guys, and then of course Bimmy and Jimmy make an appearance too, because they're all in the same universe. But apparently the boyfriends of the main cast get kidnapped, and it's his job to go and rescue them, in the same style of all these beat 'em ups. Kick enemies' butts, collect their money, go buy upgrades, get stronger, get faster, defeat bosses, and save the day. This game succeeded so well they made a sequel. I haven't touched that one yet, but I am going to in the future. But yeah, River City Girls, fantastic beat 'em up. Go pick it up if you like that, and clearly I do, because I have like 4 or 5 of these on this list. I might as well just make this like top 5 beat 'em ups. But no, we're going with the modern retro because I got more games to talk about. This one is purely for my wife. Stardew Valley. I mean, do I need to tell you about this game? Of course not. You probably have already played it. You've married everyone in the village. You've probably got, millions upon millions of dollars, or you've crafted the best weapons by going into the mines. What can I say about this game that hasn't been said already? I mean, if you need more, this is, you leave your mundane job because your family has left you a farm and you decide to take over the farm. Then you build your relationships. This is like the chillest game in the world you could ever play. I've played it a little bit. Farming games aren't my cup of tea, but you cannot deny the appeal of this game, and the fact that it's still being constantly updated, and the fact that it was made by one guy because he wanted a spiritual successor to Harvest Moon on the Super Nintendo, because Harvest Moon games were very special to them, and he wanted to make something in that style. Even though that they were still pumping out Harvest Moon games, I believe it was with a different development team, but now that development team now makes what's called Story of Seasons, and that's kind of the continuation of Harvest Moon, because Harvest Moon right now is a name only. It's not the same game as it once was. But yeah, this is a game that my wife will routinely play. I mean, it's just something very chill, relaxing, of just going through, mending your crops, and doing the other tasks that are available in the game. Not my cup of tea, but I wanted to put it on here because I want people to know about it. But I mean, like, it's like, what, 10 years after the fact, people already know about it, people are playing it. I don't need to tell you to play it, but I mean, there's another game that, has that retro modern style. it's something that you should take a look at if you are ever all interested in life simulation or farming simulation games. This might be up your alley. When I was a young Johnny Chase, we had many games for the NES, and one of my favorites I never got around to beating until much later in my life was Blaster Master. And then when the Switch was announced, they released on launch or near launch Blaster Master Zero. So this one right here, like widescreen support, and it just plays like the old school Blaster Master. A little bit more of ease because with the old school Blaster Master, there was a continue system and no passwords. You had to do that all. And with Blaster Master, it was, set number of lives, set number of continues. You died, that's it. You go all the way back. And Blaster Master on NES is a long game if you don't know where to go. Like, it'll take you quite a few hours to beat it. So if you die, man, you lose all that progress for nothing. But yeah, Blaster Master Zero, they made 3 of these games, so kind of lumped the whole series in together there, because I think from 2 and 3 they don't do a whole lot of changes. It's just more of the same, and the same is good because, it plays like the old school Blaster Master with new abilities and new weapons, and it's a good time. Again, it was one of those ones that was on the Switch for launch, but it is available on everything, so if you want to give it a try. And I think I've saved the best for last, Sea of Stars. If you want another Chrono Trigger, I mean, Square ain't gonna give it to you, but how about the folks at Sabotage? And when I found out after, starting it up, that this game is actually in the same universe as their previous game, The Messenger. It takes place 1,000 years before the events of The Messenger. So you kind of see, what else is out there in the world, as well as going to the world of The Messenger, which when I got to that point in the game, man, I was all smiles because Messenger was one of my surprise hits of the last few years. But Sea of Stars, a fantastic story, beautiful graphics, beautiful music, and a great story as well. But yeah, there's just so much content in this game. And then as I find out, there's going to be in a future update, 3-player co-op. So they're, adding in some Secret of Mana in there. But the battle system I thought was pretty cool, is that it plays a lot like Super Mario RPG or Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, where there's timed hits, but they also let you strategize with the well-timed hits, but also what element and what actual attack you use. Okay, do you use the staff, which counts as like the little hammer icon, and that can break an enemy's attack or make their attack pretty much useless. But this was a game that, man, like I still haven't 100%ed it. I still need to do those mystery shell things to get, like, the super secret thing there, but it was a great experience, and one that I kind of want to go through another playthrough of, especially with my wife there. Once the co-op happens, I'd love to play that with her. I mean, we'll need another person in here as well, but yeah, Sea of Stars, that's gotta be my top pick for this. These games are not ranked there, but I mean, if I were to rank them, definitely would go with Sea of Stars as my number 1. So that was 10 modern retro games that you can play right now on modern systems. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I know I missed many because there's ones in the comments I never even had a chance to look at, and there's way more that I have for a part 3. So if you guys liked it, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that bell for the notifications, all that stuff that YouTube makes us do. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my name is Johnny Chase, and Double Dragon Gaiden is calling me. I'm going to play some more. See you next one.